Private Daniel Hodgekiss. In February 1916, he enlisted here in Mildura. He served with the 59th Battalion in one of the most daring battles that Australia was involved in at the second Battle of Villers-Bretonneux. Charles Bean, our official war historian, recorded Daniel as being a daring soldier for single-handedly taking out a German machine gunner who'd been hiding behind a haystack at Villers-Bretonneux. Sadly, a month later, he was very severely wounded in battle. Luckily he survived. He was sent back to England where he remained in hospital for many months recuperating. By the start of 1919 he had recovered. He got back to Melbourne, was medically discharged. His record has him down as only having 1/3 his work capacity after his war service. I don't know if he was ever able to work again. I'm not sure, but he died here in 1924 and was buried at the Nichols Point cemetery. He was essentially anonymous for more than 80 years in death. It's really sad for any veteran. I came across his story in around 2009. I then decided to contact the Office of Australian War Graves in Canberra and just outlining Daniel's service, the fact that he had an unmarked grave here, and that as a returned veteran who came home severely wounded, I thought he'd be entitled to some sort of plaque on his grave or something, which they accepted. The Mildura RSL knew about Daniel and his grave being marked, so they very happily and very quickly offered to hold a dedication service at the cemetery for Daniel, which was done in April 2012, which was wonderful. It was really good to know that finally after, and it was 88 years by that stage, since, between Daniel's death and his grave being marked. He laid there for 88 years with no one knowing anything about him, so it was great to know he finally was getting some recognition. Daniel was obviously really brave in what he did in the second Battle of Villers-Bretonneux. And we can't escape the fact that Daniel was an Indigenous soldier, and at the time he enlisted in February 1916, people with Indigenous heritage were not actually permitted to join the services. Daniel was quite remarkable in the fact that he enlisted and served before these laws even changed. He wasn't the only one, but he enlisted when he wasn't supposed to and fought in this horrible war, only to be wounded and die not long after he came home. So I think that's significant too, and that's something we should be proud of as well.